The 4Kids dub had many changes, some dumb, and some being asinine.
In a dungeon for the rest of your days!
But one of the biggest was Sanji getting rid of his nicotine addiction for a sugar craving. But that got me thinking, how many lollipops does Sanji have in a day? First we gotta figure out what counts as a new lollipop. Short answer, every time we see him have one and it disappears for a few scenes. It's hard to find comparing to its Black Lungs counterpart, but I managed it. Next we gotta figure out how long is a day in One Piece is. The best example I found for now is where we actually met Sanji, but not the whole arc. You see, around the time Dawn appears, it's mentioned Luffy was working there for a few days.
I'm bored. We've already been here 4 days.
But now we figure out how long was that time between Dawn's appearance and his defeat. That I can't unfortunately figure out because it's anime. 5 minutes could be 5 episodes. I mean, some examples are Thriller Bark happening around a day or one night, Impel Down and Marineford arc being around 1 day. The list can go on. The best I can estimate all of this is at an hour, and the number of episodes this happens is around 7 to 8, so around 2 hours. Simple enough, just cut it in half. But another big question is, do we count Arlong Park as a continuation of that day? As amazing it would be knowing Luffy defeated Dawn and Arlong in 1 day, I find it impossible. Clues this isn't the case comes from the distance I looked at the live action map and the One Piece wiki map, and both times showed Baratier and Arlong Park being great distance towards each other. Another piece of evidence comes from at the end of Baratier arc, where we see all the chefs having a meal, and later in Arlong Park we see this.
Anyway, let's have lunch.
Oh yeah!
Unless Sanji wanted to make a second lunch, it seems a day has gone by at least. Not to mention having some time as before Dawn showed up, then him showing up, defeat him, have a meal, sail to Arlong Park, and have another meal, hear Nami's backstory, and then defeat Arlong happen in 1 day. It just seems unreasonable. And finally, we get to figure out what kind of lollipop Sanji eats. We immediately rule out Tootsie Pops as they have more of a Uranus than a Saturn, and another one ruled out is surprisingly Blow Pops. Unless Sanji's been spinning them off screen, it seems very unlikely. As hard as this seemed, we did find the perfect lollipop contender, which is none other than the Dum Dums. Plus they come in big bags, perfect for sailing. Now, after all these calculations and all this rambling, we can now figure out how many lollipops this Brooklyn boy consumes. And after watching all of Baratier fights, all of that arc, we find out that he goes through 6 lollipops in an hour. With the average time of a person is awake being around 16 to 18 hours, Sanji has gone through 96 to 108 lollipops in a day. As huge as that number seems, it's not the half of it. Next is about the Dum Dums. The bag on the website says 50 calories and 9 grams of sugar for every 2 pieces. In case you're wondering, it shows the other same labels on the other bags. So with all these calculations in, Sanji has consumed about 150 calories and 27 grams of sugar, which is about the same as a can of Coke, but with less sugar. But that's only for an hour. Multiply this by 16 to 18, and we get 2,400 to 2,700 calories and 432 to 486 grams of sugar. That's insane. He's going through the average amount of calories a day on just lollipops. But the sugar? Oh boy, oh mama. Not only is he at risk for type 2 diabetes, but some sources say he has a higher risk of cancer and heart disease. So it's just a ticking time bomb of death anytime soon. And so there you have it. Sanji's little lollipop habit has become a sugar rush of one too many. And maybe another time we'll figure out how many cigarettes Sanji has gone through. But hey, that's just a theory that came up in a few hours. Thanks for watching.